What is up, guys, gals, and all you awesome gamers out there? It is I, Josh, for OnlySP, and today I'm bringing you some gameplay of 35mm. Now, this is a very unusual game. I actually kind of got this real strong vibe of games like, and it's maybe a little bit prejudiced, saying things like The Last of Us, and even the movie The Road. I mean, I believe this game is set in like a post-apocalyptic kind of setting and such, but there was just something unusual about it. And there was actually something that I really liked about it too. Now, I did play around 30 minutes of this game. It was one of these things where it was a game that ultimately just could not grab my attention. It is very interesting though. It's got a very cool premise, and it's a game that you generally don't see around these days, and it's kind of unusual because it brings back memories of Pokemon Snap. Do you remember Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64 where basically you had to take pictures of Pokemon and stuff? It's not like that. There are no happy-go-lucky Pokemon. There are bears. You can take a photo of a bear if you like. I came across a bear. And trees and the environment. And so what you're doing in 35mm seems to be some form of promised journey in a way. It's one of these things where you're going on like a one or two man quest in a way where you are trying to fulfill a promise, but we don't actually know what the main character's kind of motive is within this promise that he's promised to somebody. He's also bringing his friend along, and it seems to have these survival aspects to it where you're kind of moving from house to house in a kind of scripted environment. It doesn't seem like you can wander around freely from what I've seen. There are other little areas that you can look in, like there's a few little houses that you can explore and stuff like that. It has that thing too of that you gotta have food and you gotta have medical supplies, and you can look at just little odd things in the environment, like as you saw there, like photos, or you can open car doors and look at more photos. You can't really interact with everything. That is something that I noticed, is that sometimes it'll let you open a drawer and sometimes it won't. There's your little inventory book, and you can see there it tells you how to use the ability buttons. So you got your camera, which is keybinded to 1. That's the camera. It's a 35mm shot one, and it's actually really fun to use. The way that they ended up doing it is that you take a photo and it kind of does like a still shot of the actual game screen. So what you see in front of you is the picture that you're taking, and I think that's kind of cool. Haven't been able to use the knife yet. Don't really know what knife combat is like in this game, or if you get guns or anything like that. The game is also in what I think is Polish. It might be Polish or it might be Russian, one of the two. And so there's not really this need for me to kind of like stop talking, because you're not going to be able to understand people anyway unless you are from those countries. I'm sorry that I have a terrible grasp of geography, so it's one of these things where I'm not going to know that stuff. But the great thing actually is the atmosphere. So I love the atmosphere of the game. That is one of the high points of this, is that there's always this kind of like ominous, kind of dark, lonely feeling, which is what really gave me that kind of strong feeling of the movie The Road, because the movie The Road was very depressing. It had this thing of loneliness at all times, and it was this thing where you kind of just looked around. You always felt like you were looking around in that movie, and you were kind of trying to take in your surroundings, and you're kind of doing that in this. It also has a little bit of that Stalker game in it. You remember the Stalker game on PC? Has a little bit of that feeling to it. Now, I am actually really into taking photos. I love photography to death, and so I kind of got my calling of this. Instantly, I started thinking to myself, I wonder what I could do with the 35mm. So I ended up kind of like starting to do like crouch shots, bird's eye shots, kind of going up to foliage. I started to see how the environment could be used as a tool for me to take photos, which I thought was kind of cool. So I started looking around thinking, well, there's light going through trees, there are little angles that I could take photos of, and later on I just started to get like completely lost in the fact that I can take photos of things, and I'm like, I don't really care about the story anymore. I just want to take photos of stuff. Like a guy walking away from a building, thought that was kind of fun, so I thought I'll take a photo. There is the little annoying thing that the character does delay the shot by kind of like moving his finger over the button. It's not instantaneous, so you're kind of having to kind of like line up those shots as best as possible. But it's really awesome because once you take a photo, like your first one, you're like, oh, I could actually take more. I can take as many as I want. And you're kind of just like rushing around. I'm wondering actually if maybe they save the photos in like a little photo kind of like album inside the game's files or something, because I haven't seen any way of accessing them. And as you may notice here, I'm still trying to understand the whole exploring aspect of this game, but I'm still kind of a little bit blown away by it. Taking a nice landscape shot there. There's actually a really good one that I come across in a second. The game's engine isn't like up to snuff that you'd think for doing photography, but it's just that point, thanks to the environment, how like the clouds and the mist and the trees, you get this real strong sense that maybe you can do little things. The characters also seem to be kind of like patched into their own kind of script, so you can't make them kind of like rush ahead. So this guy here is always walking, he walks very slowly, but it's one of these things where it gives you a chance to kind of have a little bit of a play of the camera. So as I saw here, I was like, well, if you're going to take forever, I'm going to start having some fun. So I saw this really awesome tree with light going through it, and I thought, you know what, I'll take a photo of that. Looks kind of nice, don't you think? And then I just start finding other little things, like there's a bit later on where I see the moon, and as you can see, like I'm starting to get lost in, like, I don't care what the story is anymore, I just want to take photos. I'd love to know your opinion of that though, because I should be like getting like close up, like bird's eye shots. I'm like really getting lost in the ability to take camera shots. Really cool. Don't you think that's really cool? I think that's really cool because you don't get games like that. You don't get games that actually make you feel like you need to take photos. Like obviously, like you say, you're heavily into social media, or say if you do game reviews or game previews or anything like that for a website, then maybe you would take photos of a game. You know, you just use like your recording device to like take a little screenshot or something like that, or even if your computer, because remember there's a print screen button. But it's one of those things where you never feel this need to take a photo inside a game when the game gives you the tool to do it. We've seen games do that recently with, say, like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, where they've given us the ability to use capture mode, where you can kind of like take a pause screenshot, like completely 360 degree, like in the game Infamous Second Son you could do it, and even The Last of Us gave us that, even Uncharted as well, where you could kind of like do a thing where you could like freeze the game, it could be like a really awesome moment of combat, and then you could kind of like move around the camera and like in any angle, like through enemies' legs and stuff like that, and take a really cool photo. And that's kind of like the level, like the max that games at the moment have been able to do until 35mm. Now it's very basic, it's very simple. As you can see, like I'm like, what if I get like a tree in the shot? And it could be like just like part of the angle, like I'm sneaking around it, like it'd be really creepy and stuff. Like really trying to get into that whole kind of like taking photos. Look, oh, then here we go again, like seeing that light going through the trees. Really nice lighting, I will give it that. The game's got very nice lights when it comes to the foliage. That's another really nice shot. I'm quite proud of that one. Don't you think? Comment section below, what's been my best photo so far? If you can do a better one, let us know. Maybe link the video in our comment section. Let us know what kind of photos you've been able to take. We would love to know all of your creative, awesome output. But this is all about me. This is all about my journey through 35mm. And it's one of these games, again, where it makes you feel very lonely. The game has its own pace, and it's this thing where I was really trudging along with it, and it was like, I want the game to hurry up. I get what it's doing, I get what it is trying to make me kind of take my time with it. There's a little bit later on where it starts to like really amp up. Oh, another potentially perfect shot. It seems like I've already got too many. This is the thing, when it comes to photography, never too many things, you know, all the time. So don't try and go overboard with like sunlight shots going through trees, and don't take too many trees, don't take too many photos of butterflies. You know, it's this thing of try and mix it up a little bit. So I was trying to be professional. Oh, I found some mushrooms. Can I interact with the mushrooms? Doesn't look like it. I thought maybe because of the survival aspect that they might be able to eat some shrooms, have a good time, pie, see floating heads and dots. But no, you can't do that. So I thought maybe this is the thing with the whole delay of the shot. Like I thought, oh, I can take a photo right here. Nope, gotta have that delay. So, I mean, it's kind of like, it's got a cool aspect, but it does have that kind of like fallback where you kind of suffer from the delay of the shot because he has to move his finger over and you can't do it yourself with the instant photo taking. But it's still cool. I still appreciate that the game has been able to do that. It kind of makes me wonder how the game goes later on. There are some little bugs, there's also some screen tearing, and it's not, again, the prettiest engine, but I was having an immense fun time with the photography again. It's this thing where the game's always trying to give you chances at taking photos of things, and I'm wondering if maybe there's like some reason for that, maybe there's like some kind of meaning later on to the game and what it could do for you with that kind of stuff. But I'm curious. I'm very curious. At the same time, it might just be like really pointless. There could actually be nothing to it, you know? And so it's that thing where even just for fun, it makes you feel like you're doing little bits and bobs. The characters themselves, again, are very mysterious. I'm not too sure about their reasonings for what they're doing, if they are actually in like some form of post-apocalyptic world. It seems like it, because all the houses that they go through are very abandoned. There's this car on the side of the road. You can actually interact with the car door. It takes me a while because the mechanic of moving it around is very unusual, but it's this thing of, I appreciate that it's allowing us to do those things. Again, I don't think this game is full on survival. I think that it is very based on its photography, thus why the title of the game is 35mm. And so it's this thing where I just like that. I like that it kind of like takes its time. We do end up coming across a bear later on, which I just mentioned, which is actually through this forest, which is going to come up just in a moment. It still takes some time, still have to wander a little bit. Don't use the knife. I'm not going to stab a bear. I'm not going to fight a bear. Winnie the Pooh is my friend. But I do, for a joke, try and turn around and take a photo of the guy getting chased by it. Doesn't work. Doesn't really work. But again, it's more of one of these interactive games, and I'm curious to see, seeing as I have a knife, if there is actually gun action in this. So I may play a little bit more and just see if I can get anywhere. It gets to this point though where at the end I'm kind of like wandering around thinking, what am I supposed to be doing? The game has very little guidance. There's another potential really good shot there if it's a little bit darker, don't you think? It's great that it brings out that creativity in you, where you kind of think, what can I do with these kind of like settings, these moments? Again, look, I want to take a photo. I'm gonna have some fun with it. Ka-ching. But it's been me, Josh, bringing you some 35mm on the PC. This game is currently available to play. Would love to know if you've given it a go. Would love to know your opinion on what you've seen of it. What do you think to the camera mechanic? Remember, it's a very basic camera, and it's a bit of a shame you can't look through the lens. I would have liked to look through the lens. It would be one of these things you could maybe zoom in just a little bit, but it is a very basic camera. We need to appreciate what it is and what it does. Some very nice hand animations, as you saw there. I mean, later on, there's some very good hand animations as well. The lack of guidance, as I mentioned a moment ago, is something that kind of really threw me off. Like, it doesn't really like hold your hand, like, at all, ever. Ooh, now this bit here is a very, very open area. I was going to end the video here a second, but you're going to see again, we actually come across a dog too. Forgot to mention that we come across a dog, but I saw like this forest, and the forest in front of me has again some really good lighting. So I'm kind of like, I want to check this out. We've got this really awesome kind of like power pylon thing. Maybe we could like go on with that. Let's see. Oh wait, that's a telephone mast. It's a telephone mast, right? So I'm like spinning. I'm like, I don't give a crap about the story. I want to take some photos again. And I just noticed this light. Look, there's a little bit of light. If I can get the building out of the way, and if I can get that pylon out of the way, oh, that could be a really good shot. Here we go. Go take a photo. Hold your breath. You see, it's one of those things. Revel in it. Revel in the ability to do that. But still, it's been me, Josh, for Only SP, bringing you some 35mm. You can't actually interact with these cans. That one there doesn't look like it's open. That could have been some potential food. You do get food in this game, it seems. But he doesn't want to eat. I don't know how you make him eat. I tried to make him eat. It doesn't let you make him eat. Does he have some form of hunger gauge? Doesn't look like it yet. Not too sure. I'm wondering if maybe this is because it's like a tutorial at the start. This is an early impression, though. But I would love to know if you played this game. Does anyone play this game? Is anyone out there? Knock, knock. No? Okay. But, again, we'll see you all next time. Let us know in the comment section below your opinionage of 35mm. I thought it was kind of fun for that mechanic of taking photos. Didn't like the fact that there's invisible walls, so again, you can't freely wander around everything. And it makes you wonder why the characters kind of go on about how the wilderness is dangerous. There is an angry bear that's about to attack us. But it also makes you wonder what other kind of mysterious things are in this. Could there be monsters? Could there be, like, goons? Like, people wandering? We're going for the photos again. Look at me just getting lost in it. I want to take those photos. I want to take little pictures of flowers and things. If this game had a stronger engine, there's so much potential to it. Like, say if they use, like, the Crytek engine or something. Remember, that game engine is free to use. You could have done some wonders with it. There was just some things, you know, there's just some stuff. There's just that, you could go overboard with taking photos. A photo game with a really latest game engine would be so awesome. I would love that. But anyway, it's been me, Josh, and I'll see you all next time. Enjoy the gameplay. Ciao for now.
Эй, смотри! Привет, песик.
Быстро! Валим отсюда!
Может, все же поведаешь, с какой целью мы путь держим?
Уговор я выполнил. Остальное не имеет значения.
Ладно, право твое. Когда люди начали умирать, никто и подумать не мог, что все так закончится. Никто не был к этому готов. Сократилось население Земли в разы. Казалось бы, воздуха больше, пространства шире. Но нет. Человек оказался настолько дик и неадаптирован, что начал грызть сам себя. Паника, мародерство, конфликты. Никто не смог взять на себя эту ношу и сохранить контроль над ситуацией. Вот все и рухнуло. В моем городе в первый же день люди начали бить витрины, выносить ценности, медикаменты, продовольствие. Угоняли машины, прокалывали колеса другим, дабы скорее добраться до госпиталя. Но никто ведь не знал, что медицина здесь уже бессильна. Ладно, нужно тут с вещами разобраться. Хорошо бы воды из колодца принести. Червячка заморить нужно.
Ugh.